Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Nimisha Jadon from School of Studies Environmental Chemistry, Jivaji University, Gwalior. Today we are going to discuss about the module Solid and Hazardous Waste Management first under the paper of Environmental Analysis. The learning objective of this module included nature and sources of hazardous waste, then generation, treatment, reduction and disposal of hazardous waste, then recycling and the recovery of the waste solvent, then chemical and the thermal treatment method, biodegradability and the preparation of waste for disposal. First of all, we have to discuss here about what is hazardous waste. A used or the discard material that can damage the environment and the behavior of health is known as hazardous waste. The hazardous waste included heavy metals and toxic chemicals used in the industrial products and processes, as well as the infectious medical waste and the radioactive material such as spent nuclear fuel rods, etc. According to the RCRA, that is Resource Conservation Recovery Act, these wastes are not included in the hazardous solid waste if it is a household waste, then agriculture waste returned to the soil as fertilizers, then mining overburden returned to the mine site, then fly ash scrubber sludge, then waste associated with the production of crude oil, gas or the geothermal energy, then waste which fails the test for toxicity characteristics, and the waste from extraction, beneficiation and the processing of ores and minerals, and the distillation bottoms.
Now we are discussing about the classification of hazardous waste. The hazardous waste classified by its presence on EPA developed list, that is Environmental Protection Agency developed list, and another one classification of hazardous waste depends by the evidence that the waste exhibits ignitable, corrosive, reactive or toxic characteristics. Now we discuss about the EPA's hazardous waste designation system. The EPA, that is Environmental Protection Agency, includes spent halogenated and non-halogenated solvents which is discharged from the electroplating baths, wastewater treatment sludges and heavy ends comes under the category of hazardous waste. The five categories may be described as the specific types of waste from non-specific sources, specific types of waste from specific sources, any commercial chemical product or intermediate of specification, pro-residue that has been identified as an acute hazardous waste, any commercial chemical product or intermediate and the characteristics waste. The next is the cement kin dust waste, arsenic treated wood, petroleum contaminated media and debris, injected groundwater which is hazardous due to the toxicity characteristics, used chlorofluorocarbon refrigerants, non-turn plated used oil filters and used oil refinery. The next we are discussing here the characteristics of hazardous waste. The first one and foremost characteristic of hazardous waste is reactivity. The waste that are hazardous due to the reactivity characteristics may be unstable under normal conditions, may react with water and may give off toxic gases and may be capable of detonation or explosion under normal conditions or when heated. EPA assigned D003 as the waste code for reactive hazardous waste. The second one characteristic is the toxicity. Even in very small or trace amount, the hazardous waste may have the acute effects causing death or violent illness, or they may have chronic effects slowly causing irreparable harm. There some are the carcinogenics and causing cancer after many years of exposure. The next important characteristic of hazardous waste is ignitability. Waste that are hazardous due to the ignitability characteristic include liquids with flash points below 60 degrees centigrade, non-liquids that cause fire through specific conditions, and ignitable compressed gases and oxidizers. The EPA assigned D001 as the waste code for ignitable hazardous waste. The next characteristic of the hazardous waste is corrosivity. The corrosive waste include strong acidic or alkaline substances. They destroy solid material and living tissue upon contact by chemical reaction. Here in this flow chart, we have discussed about the generation, treatment and disposal of various hazardous waste management techniques. The three main aspects of hazardous waste management that involves the generation, that means the RCRA regulated industrial wastewater, industrial solid waste, leaking underground storage tanks and other. These are the sources of hazardous waste into the water or the other sources. The next is the part of the treatment. The treatment part included industrial wastewater, municipal wastewater, industrial solid waste, incineration, resource recovery and the others. And the last one is comes under the disposal part, which is either generated waste directly disposed of, or the treated waste is also disposed of by secure chemical landfill, industrial landfill, sanitary landfill, construction landfill, deep well, sources, oblique ocean water and the others.
The options for handling hazardous waste are following. Number one is measures that prevent generation of the waste. Second, the recovery and recycle of the waste constituents. Then third one is the destruction and treatment conversion to non-hazardous waste form. Then disposal either in the storage or the landfill site, then the treatment, storage and disposal facilities, then the water waste reduction and the waste minimization and the waste treatment.
Here RCRA denotes Resource and Conservation Recovery Act. Here in this figure, we are discussing about the reduction, treatment and disposal of hazardous waste or waste reduction or minimization process. In this figure, we have seen that the reactant is entered into the manufacturing process and the reaction media like water, organic solvents and the catalyst are also added in this manufacturing unit. Then the products and the useful byproducts are collected from the this manufacturing process. Then the remaining part is discharged that may be required the treatment wastewater or either by the solids and the sludge. The some part of this discharge is also recycled due to recollection of some beneficially byproducts or the products, and some the gases are produced during this process that are released directly into the atmosphere. So here we can say either it discharged, recycled or reclaimed as a byproduct which can be useful in the other processes.
Now we discuss here about the recycling of the hazardous waste. The direct recycle as raw material to the generator is known as the recycling process. The transfer as a raw material to the another process or the utilization for pollution control or the waste treatment, the recycling is the best process to control the pollution or to utilize the waste material for the other processes. Then this process is also help in the recovery of energy from some valuable sources of the waste.
In this figure, we are discussing about the major steps in reprocessing waste oil. The waste oil, when the enter into the chamber where the removal of contaminated fuel and water take place by the various chemical processes, and in this chamber the water and the light hydrocarbons removed separately. Then the remaining part is passed through the processing unit where the some additives are added into that wastewater. Then the collected byproducts are collected by different spent released from this processing unit, and the final wastewater is transferred to the final polishing chamber where the lubricating oil stocks collected and some byproducts are collected separately. In the next figure, we have discussed about the waste solvent recovery and recycle. For the solvent recovery, the manufacturing, cleaning, extraction and the other process generate some types of solvents where these solvents are transferred into the separation unit where the some products are separated and the remaining solvent in transferred to the other chamber for the solvent purification, and here again the byproducts are separated and the purified sample is recycled for again the manufacturing process, cleaning, extraction and the other process. This type of solvent is also used as a makeup solvent for the solution preparation. So this is the best example of recovery and recycling of the waste solvent. Here we are discussing about the various physical treatment method of hazardous waste that includes phase separation, filtration method, then phase transfer extraction, phase transition distillation, then the membrane separation evaporation, reverse osmosis, physical precipitation, and hyper and ultrafiltration. Here in this figure, we are representing a major phases of waste treatment. When the waste is entered into the primary treatment chamber, so here the various process like dissolution, blending, slurring and the phase separation process are carried out to remove some essential byproducts and the also disposed of some granulated or the large size particles from the wastewater, and the resource also recovered by this treatment process. Then after that the remaining part of the wastewater is transferred to the secondary treatment chamber where the various processes are carried out to minimize the toxicity of the wastewater that included neutralization, oxidation reduction, precipitation, adsorption, extraction, emulsion breaking, coagulation, sedimentation, centrifugation, air flotation, and sludge dewatering. And here again, the remaining part of after the treatment of all these secondary processes, the disposal we have disposed of the resource that we can recover here, and then the remaining part is transferred to the third or tertiary treatment process where the polishing of the remaining water or the wastewater takes place, and the process that we are using here is the filtration, activated carbon sorption and the reverse osmosis, which clean the water up to in that level that they can discharge easily to any nearby water body, and also it can be used for the further gardening and the other process. So this discharge that is generated after polishing is recycled for the further other processes. In the next figure, the treatment options for mixed hazardous waste is discussed here. Here you have seen that the diluted sludge and mixed inorganic and organic waste is transferred for the treatment of water treatment and detoxification and the resource recovery processes, and this type of sludge is directly disposed of in the secure chemical landfill, where the waste are treated and the resource recovery is done. The some part of this remaining sludge is transferred to the again chemical landfill, and the resource recovery is done by collecting some useful byproducts. Then this phase waste is also transferred to the sanitary construction and industrial landfill, the part of that waste which is non-hazardous in nature, and the non-hazardous aqueous discharge is transferred to the publicly owned treatment works or receiving water. The some part of the chemical landfill is going in a leachate treatment, and after the leachate treatment the remaining water is again transferred to the publicity owned treatment work or receiving water. So here the whole process is interlinked with each other, and finally the essential byproducts or resource recovered from the this hazardous waste, and the rest part is after the treatment disposed of other water treatment unit or disposed of in the chemical landfills.
Now we discuss here about the chemical treatment process of hazardous waste. The different chemical treatment process adopted in hazardous waste management industries including solubility, neutralization, precipitation, coagulation and flocculation, oxidation and reduction, and the ion exchange method. Now we discuss here individual processes in detail. The number one method is solubility. The hazardous waste may be organic and the inorganic and containing various chemical elements and with various structural configurations. The water, known as the universal solvent, will dissolve many of these substances while others have only limited water solubility. The solubility of various salts, inorganic and organic, is utilized as a means of treatment of hazardous waste when the wastewater treatment facilities are available and the landfill options are limited. The next one method is known as neutralization. The neutralization of acids and alkaline waste stream is an example of the use of chemical treatment to migrate waste characterized as the corrosive. The neutralization of an acid or base is easily determined by measuring its pH. The acid based reactions are most common chemical process used in hazardous waste treatment. The neutralization prior to the landfill will be necessary so that the interreactions are avoided in the landfills. As the neutralization process is exothermic in nature, if pre-neutralization did not take place, the temperature of the landfill layers increases and thus by damaging the lines. So the neutralization is an important before the hazardous waste enter into the landfills.
Now the next process is precipitation. Often undesirable heavy metals are present in liquid and solid waste which are in slurry form. Simple precipitation is carried out to remove such kind of undesirable heavy metals present in the liquid or the solid waste. The usual method of removal of organic heavy metals is chemical precipitation. The metals precipitate at varying pH levels depending on the metal ion, resulting in the formation of an insoluble salt. Hence, the neutralization of an acidic waste stream can cause precipitation of heavy metals. The next process is coagulation and flocculation. The precipitation is greatly improved by adding some coagulants like alum. Most commonly used coagulant is alum or ferric chloride. Then the many polyelectrolytes are used as coagulants. These coagulants neutralize the charge of colloids in suspended conditions and thus allowing them to settle rapidly.
The next method is known as oxidation and reduction. The chemical processes of oxidation and reduction can be used to convert toxic pollutants to the harmless or the less toxic substances. Heavy metal waste are subjected to reduction process to precipitate to safe compounds of heavy metals. The examples is hexavalent chromium is precipitated into trivalent chromium hydroxide, and similarly alkaline chlorination of cyanide neutralizes higher toxic cyanide waste. The next method is known as ion exchange method. The ion exchange is reversible exchange of ions between the liquid and the solid phases. The ions held by electrostatic forces to charge functional group on the surface of an insoluble solids are replaced by ions of similar charge in a solution. The ion exchange is stoichiometric, reversible and selective removal of dissolved ionic species.
Here in this figure, we are discussing about the thermal treatment method. The thermal treatment method including incineration. In the incineration process, the hazardous waste is transferred to the waste preparation and the feeding chamber where it is prepared for the combustion process, like we are feeding it with the sufficient amount of air or the oxygen, and then it is transferred to the combustion chamber where continuously air passes through the combustion chamber or the fuel which is required to burn the waste hazardous waste. So, with the addition of fuel and air, the combustion chamber attain the high temperature up more than 1000 degree. Then the whole hazardous waste is degraded or burned out in this chamber, and the gas that are generated during the combustion process is removed as a air pollutant into the air, and the remaining part is collected as the ash or the residue. The ash is the disposed of either in the landfill or in a road construction and the other process, and the remaining water part is transferred to the POTW, that is publicly occupied treatment facility of water system. So that in the whole process the hazardous waste which are not treated properly transferred to the combustion process where it is burned out completely and convert into the non-hazardous substances. The incinerators are the closed devices that use controlled flame combustion for the thermal treatment of hazardous waste. When performed properly, this process destroys toxic organic constituents in hazardous waste and reduces the volume of waste that needs to be disposal. Now we are discussing here the various types of incinerator, that includes rotary kiln, liquid injection incinerators, fluidized bed incinerators, and advanced design incinerators. The most common used incinerator is liquid injection incinerator, and the rotary kiln are frequently used in a various process of hazardous waste management. The liquid injection incinerator is enough is even though are usable only for the gases, liquid and slurries, and it is thin enough to be pumped through at atomized nozzle. The nozzle emits tiny droplets of waste that are mixed with air and an auxiliary fuel such as natural gas or fuel oil. The resulting gaseous mixture is burned at a very high temperature. The atomizing nozzle used in a liquid injection incinerator must be designed to accommodate the particular characteristics of expected waste streams. The second most important type of incinerator is the rotary kiln incinerator, which is more versatile than the liquid incinerator type and being capable of handling gases, liquids, sludges, and solids of all sorts, including drums waste. The main unit consists of a slightly inclined rotating cylinder, perhaps 2 to 5 meter in diameter and 3 to 10 meter long. The waste and auxiliary fuel are introduced into the high end of the kiln and combustion takes place while the cylinder slowly rotates. The rotation helps increase the turbulence, which improves the combustion efficiency. Partially combustion waste gases are passed through the secondary combustion chamber for further oxidation. The rotary kiln incinerators are commercially available as mobile unit and fixed installation. The other two types of incinerator like fluidized bed or advanced design are rarely used in any hazardous waste treatment processes. Now we discuss here about the combustion condition. For the combustion condition, it is the sufficiently free oxygen is transferred in the combustion zone, then the turbulence for through mixing of waste, oxidant and the supplement fuel will be minimal so that the combustion process is continued properly and the high combustion temperature is required for the total degradation of the hazardous waste and the sufficient residence time at least 2 seconds to allow the reactions to occur is necessary for the combustion of the hazardous waste.
Now we are discussing here about the boilers and the industrial furnaces. Boilers are the closed devices that use controlled flame combustion to recover and export energy in the form of steam, heated fluids, or the heated gases. The industrial furnaces are enclosed units that are integral part of a manufacturing process and use thermal treatment to recover materials or energy from the hazardous waste. Example of an industrial furnace are cement kilns, aggregate kilns, and the halogen acid furnace that produce acid from the halogenated hazardous waste. The next method is a very well-known method is the landfills. The landfills are excavated or engineered site where the non-liquid hazardous waste is deposited to final disposal and covered it. These units are selected and designed to minimize the changes of release of hazardous waste into the environment. The designing standards for hazardous waste landfills require double liner, then double leachate collection and the removal system, then the leak detection system, then run on or run off and wind disposal control, and the construction quality assurance program.
Now we discuss here about the land treatment. Soil may be viewed as a natural filter for waste. The soil has physical, chemical, and biological characteristics that can enable waste detoxification, biodegradation, chemical decomposition, and physical and chemical fixation. The treatment of waste may be accomplished by mixing the waste with soil under appropriate conditions. The next process is known as composting. The composting of hazardous waste is the biodegradation of solid or solidified materials in a medium other than soil. The composting process generates heat and for the successful composting of hazardous waste depends upon the various numbers of the factors like heat, pressure, temperature, etc. Next, we are discussing about the preparation of waste for disposal. For the preparation of waste for disposal, including four methods, that immobilization, stabilization, fixation, and solidification. In the process of immobilization, due to high level of contaminated waste which is not suitable for the disposal, so the immobilization of waste is required, which is done by the chemical method, natural method, or the micro encapsulation. In the second process, that is known as stabilization, in this technique the waste are locking the contaminants of the soil, and it is a process that physically encapsulate the contaminants, and the encapsulation of radionuclides and the heavy metals are done by this process. The third process is known as fixation. In this process, the liquid hazardous waste are neutralized, oxidized, or reduced as appropriate and fixed for the further disposal. Then the last one process is known as solidification. In this process, the waste is mixed with the cement or the cement based mixture, which limits the solubility and mobility of the waste constituents.
So in this module, we are discuss about the types of hazardous waste. Means the waste that have a tendency of toxicity, corrosivity, and the ignitability is considered as a hazardous waste. And any commercial chemical product or the intermediate of specification pre-residue that has been identified as acute hazardous waste can be identified and categorized by various agencies. We have also discussed here about their recycling, reprocess, and reuse method, and various treatment and disposal method of hazardous waste also discussed here. So in this module we can conclude it that we have learned about the generation of the hazardous waste up to and disposal of the hazardous waste either into the landfill or the disposal in the other means. Thank you so much.